Welcome to Learn English Fast.
Speak English with confidence.
Hello and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Henry, and I'm really happy to be with you today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever learned a new English word, but then forgot it the next day? Or maybe you remember hearing the word, but you don't remember what it means or how to use it. Yes, it happens to all of us, even native speakers sometimes. But for English learners, this is one of the most common problems. How do I remember the English words I learn? Well, today's episode is all about that. We're going to talk about simple and powerful ways to remember English words, not just memorize them for a test, but really remember them and use them when you speak or write. I'll share easy tips, personal tricks, and learning methods that actually work. And don't worry, everything will be explained in simple English, so you can understand and follow along. So, are you ready? Let's get started and find out how to remember English words in a way that's easy, fun, and works for you. So, why do we forget English words? Well, the truth is, forgetting is normal. Our brain can only hold so much information at one time. If we don't use a word, we usually forget it. It's just how the brain works. Think about it like this. Learning a word is like planting a seed. If you don't water the seed, give it sunlight, and take care of it, it won't grow. The same is true for words. If you don't use the word, repeat it, or connect it to something important, it fades away. Another reason we forget is that we try to memorize too many words at once. Maybe you study 20 or 30 new words in one day. That sounds good, but if you don't review them later, most of them will disappear from your memory. Also, many people try to memorize words without understanding them. For example, they just read a list of words and translations. But the brain doesn't really like that. It remembers stories, pictures, emotions, and connections, not long lists. And finally, if we only see or hear a word one time, our brain thinks, maybe this word is not important, and it throws it away. But don't worry. In this episode, I'll show you how to fix these problems, so you can start remembering words better and faster. Let's move to the first step. All right, step number 1 is this. Understand the word before you try to memorize it. Many learners make this mistake. They see a new word, translate it into their language, and then try to memorize it right away. But that's not the best way. Your brain doesn't like to remember things it doesn't understand. So here's what you should do instead. When you learn a new word, take your time. Ask yourself, what does this word really mean? How is it used in a sentence? What kind of feeling or idea does it give me? Let's take an example. Imagine you learn the word excited. Instead of just saying, excited means happy, try to understand it more deeply. Say something like, oh, excited means I feel really happy because something good is going to happen, like a birthday or a trip or meeting a friend. Now, the word has meaning for you. It's not just a translation, it's an experience. Next, look at how the word is used. Read or listen to example sentences. For example, I'm excited about the concert. She's so excited to start her new job. When you see the word in a sentence, you learn how native speakers use it. Not just the word, but the grammar too. Also, listen to the pronunciation. Repeat it. say it out loud. If you only read the word, you might not remember how to say it. And finally, if you can, learn with a picture or story. Our brains remember images better than plain text. So when you think of the word excited, imagine a child jumping up and down with joy. That picture will help you remember. So to remember words, don't start with memorizing. Start with understanding the meaning, the sound, the use, and the feeling. Got it? Great. Let's move on to step 2. Shall I continue with? Okay, now that you understand the word, step 2 is very important. Use the word right away. Make it active. You see, there are 2 kinds of vocabulary. Passive vocabulary, words you understand but don't use. Active vocabulary, words you use when you speak or write. If you want to remember words, you have to turn them into active vocabulary. That means you have to use them yourself, not just read or listen. Here's how to do it. First, after you learn a new word, try to say it in a sentence. Don't wait until tomorrow. Do it immediately. Let's go back to the word excited. Say something like, I'm excited for the weekend. Or, my little sister is excited about her birthday. It's okay if your sentence is simple. That's actually better. The goal is to start using the word in real life. Second, try to write your own examples. Take a notebook or your phone and write 2 or 3 sentences using the word. Writing helps your brain remember because it's an active process. Third, say the word out loud several times. This might feel silly, but it works. When you speak the word, you hear it, you feel it, and your brain says, okay, this word is important. For example, excited. I'm excited. He's excited. Are you excited? Play with the word like a toy. Say it in questions, negatives, different tenses. Bonus. Tip: if you have a speaking partner or teacher, use the word in your next conversation. Even if you only use one new word in a conversation, it's a big win, because now it's not just a word you know, it's a word you own. So remember, don't wait. Don't be passive. Use the word right away, and your brain will keep it much longer. Ready for step 3? Let's keep going. Now, let's talk about step 3. Connect the word to something you already know. This step is powerful. And it's fun, too. Your brain remembers things better when they are connected to what you already understand. So when you learn a new word, try to make a personal connection to it. Let me give you an example. Imagine the word is journey. You can learn the meaning. A trip from one place to another. But don't stop there. Now, think about a journey you took. Maybe you remember traveling to another city or going on a school trip. Try to connect the word journey to your own experience. You can even say something like, my journey to the mountains was amazing. Now the word is not just in your brain, it's in your life. Another great way to connect words is to use pictures or emotions. Let's say you're learning the word angry. Think of a time when you felt angry. What happened? How did you feel? Make the word part of your real memory, not just a dictionary. You can also connect new words to your own language. This is called a mnemonic. It's a memory trick. For example, the English word sad sounds like the word sard in some languages, which might mean something cold or dull. You can make a story like, when I'm sad, the world feels cold. like sard. Even silly or strange connections work. If it helps you remember, it's good. So remember this step. When you learn a new word, ask yourself, what does this word remind me of? Have I felt this before? Seen this before? Can I create a story, image, or memory with it? The more personal the connection, the stronger your memory. All right, let's move on to another very important part of remembering words. Now it's time for step 4. And this one is super important. It's called spaced repetition, which means you repeat the word over time, not all at once. You see, many learners try to remember new words by repeating them 10 or 20 times in one day. That's okay for short-term memory. But if you want to remember the word for a long time, your brain needs to see it again, after some time has passed. Here's how spaced repetition works. You learn a new word today. That's day 1. You review it again on day 2 or day 3. Then again on day 5, then on day 10. Then after a week or two, each time, your brain sees the word and says, "Oh yes, I've seen this before. It must be important." That's how you build long-term memory. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say the new word is delicious. You hear it today in a podcast and understand it means very tasty. Now, instead of forgetting it tomorrow, you review it. Say it again out loud. Delicious. Use it in a sentence. This pizza is delicious. Write it in your notebook. Then, 2 days later, you look at it again. 1 week later, use it in a conversation. This is spaced repetition. It's simple, but super effective. You can use tools to help you with this. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise have built-in spaced repetition systems. Or you can use flashcards. Just review a few each day. Even better, keep a vocabulary notebook and review old pages each week. Remember, you don't need to study a word 50 times in one day. You need to see it 5 times across many days. That's the magic of spaced repetition. Small reviews, spaced out over time. Let's keep going. Ready for step 5? Okay, let's move on to step 5. Group words by topic or situation. Here's a secret. Your brain doesn't like to remember random words, but it loves patterns and connections. So instead of learning 10 words from 10 different topics, try learning 5 or 10 words from the same topic. That makes it easier to remember and use them together. Let me give you an example. Let's say the topic is food. You can learn words like delicious, spicy, hungry breakfast fruit. Now you can make full sentences and speak about food easily. I'm hungry. I want a delicious breakfast with fruit. Your brain sees the connection, and that helps you remember the words longer. You can also group words by real-life situations. For example, going to the airport, passport, luggage, flight, ticket, security, the store, cashier, price, receipt, basket, change, talking about feelings, happy, sad, nervous, excited, angry. When you group words like this, you are preparing for real conversations. You're not just learning words, you're building your ability to speak in daily life. Try to practice one topic per week. Just pick a situation and ask yourself, what words do I need to talk about this? Then, make a list. Read them, speak them, write with them, and use the tips we talked about earlier. So remember, don't learn words in isolation. Group them by topic or situation, and you'll remember them much more easily. Coming up next, How to feed your brain with more English words every day. Now let's go to step 6. Listen and read English every single day. Why is this important? Because the more you see and hear English words, the more your brain gets used to them. It's like feeding your brain with the language. And when your brain sees a word many times, in different ways, it starts to remember it automatically, without much effort. Let's say you're watching a short English video and you hear the word confused. Then later, you read a story and see the same word. He looked confused when he saw the map. And later that day, you hear it again in a podcast. She was confused by the instructions. Now your brain says, "Hey, I've seen this word 3 times today." And it starts to remember it, naturally. So here's what you can do. Listen to English daily, even for just 10 or 15 minutes. Podcasts, YouTube videos, English music, or news. Anything you enjoy. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Focus on hearing new words again and again. Read a little English every day. A story, an article, a comic, or even subtitles. When you read, you see how words are used in context. That helps you remember them much better than just memorizing from a list. Use a notebook or app to write down new words. Underline them or highlight them when you see them. Then go back later and review. Just like you eat food every day to stay strong, your brain needs English every day to grow strong, too. Remember, listening and reading are powerful. They help you learn words naturally, just like a child learns their first language. All right, let's go to step 7. And this one is all about having fun while learning. All right, now it's time for step 7. And this one is really fun. Make your word review fun and regular. Let's be honest, if learning feels boring, we don't want to do it. And if we don't do it often, we forget what we learned. So the secret is to make vocabulary review feel like a game, not like school homework. Here are some fun ways to do it. Play word games on your phone or computer. Apps like Quizlet, Memrise, or Duolingo make reviewing words feel like a game. You earn points, complete levels, and it feels good to win. Use sticky notes. Write new words on small pieces of paper and stick them around your room, on your desk, mirror, fridge, or door. So every time you see the word, you review it without thinking. Make it a daily habit. Review words for just 5 to 10 minutes a day. It's better to study a little every day than to study for 2 hours once a week. You can also create fun challenges for yourself. For example, today I will use 3 new words in a conversation. Or I will find 5 words related to travel and write a short story with them. These small challenges make learning exciting and give you a goal to reach. So remember, review doesn't have to be boring. Make it fun. Make it regular. Make it part of your daily life. And now, before we finish, let's talk about a common mistake many learners make. Before we finish, I want to share a very important tip. Don't try to learn too many words at once. Some learners try to study 50, 100, or even more new words every day. It sounds impressive, but it usually doesn't work. Why? Because your brain needs time to remember and use each word. If you try to learn too many words too quickly, you will feel overwhelmed, tired, and you will forget most of them. Instead, focus on quality, not quantity. It's much better to learn 5 or 10 words a day, and really remember those words well. Learn them with meaning. Use them in sentences. Review them regularly. That way, you build a strong foundation of words that stay in your memory. Remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Small steps every day lead to big progress. So, don't rush. Be patient and keep practicing. You're doing great. Before we finish today, I want to remind you of something very important. You can remember English words. It's normal to forget sometimes. Everyone does. Even the best English speakers forget words sometimes. The key is to keep practicing and not give up. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. So every time you learn and use a new word, you are making your memory better. Believe in yourself. Be patient. And remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. Keep going. Keep practicing. And soon you will see great progress. You've got this. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. I hope these tips help you remember English words more easily. Don't forget to practice every day, even just a little bit. In our next episode, we'll talk about how to speak English with confidence. So, stay tuned. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. See you next time, and keep learning.